Welcome back to Project Slideshow. This is a short series where I'm featuring never before seen photographs from the Daytona motorcycle races. This next group of photographs is from the 1981 Daytona. This is Pete's Classic Cycle. I'm Pete, and thank you for watching Project Slideshow.
Welcome to the Daytona Superbike 100, the biggest production motorcycle road race in America. And we've got a sensational battle shaping up with a talent-packed front five. Sitting in the front two spots are the Yoshimura R&D Suzukis, which have been the dominant force here at Daytona over the years. The pole sitter, Graham Crosby, one of the most accomplished four-stroke racers in the world. Next to him is Wes Cooley, the reigning king of American superbike racing. Starting in the middle of row one will be fast Freddie Spencer on his Team Honda machine. At 19, Spencer is the wonder boy of American road racing. Down into turn number one, a tremendous onslaught of the Suzukis and the Honda dash into turn one, squabbling over that lead. Graham Crosby, Wes Cooley, and Freddie Spencer immediately hook up in the lead battle. That's just the way we expected this one would go, and we've got 100 miles of this kind of racing still to come. This international field comes screaming through the left-hander known as the International Horseshoe. And it's Cooley who has asserted himself on the short straightaway, stretching his lead over Crosby, Spencer, now Eddie Lawson and Roberto Pietri. Cooley is clearly the rabbit here as he sets the pace on this first of 26 trips through the Daytona infield, hanging his right knee out like an outrigger, a picture of road racing form. Crosby, Spencer, Lawson, Pietri, and now Mike Spencer in hot pursuit as Cooley heads for the tight left-hander that will dump these awesome machines out onto the high-bank tri-oval of Daytona's Super Speedway. There they'll accelerate to a mind-bending terminal velocity of 160 miles per hour. Champion Crosby is third. Sandwiched in the middle is Freddie Spencer, who has caught the draft of Wes Cooley. Cooley is in effect blasting a hole in the wind, and with less resistance, Spencer is accelerating. He wants the lead. Spencer with a classic Daytona slingshot pass. Freddie Spencer on the backstretch takes over the lead. A triumvirate of superbike masters whip their machines into that tricky left-right chicane. Honda's Freddie Spencer leads Suzuki team trying to occupy the same spot, and it's Crosby grabbing the lead in turn one, a breathtaking outside pass. Well, that's the sort of intimidating, aggressive racing that helped Cros win this race a year ago. A race he had to start dead last because of a technicality. While under 100 miles, he had scorched past the entire field. Now it's Crosby and Suzuki outrun again at Daytona, but the challengers, Cooley and Spencer, are bird-dogging the New Zealanders' every move through the infield. Knifing down into that left-hand dogleg, Cooley in second place keeps the gas on that split second longer, and Crosby's lead is chopped in half. Crosby paid Cooley no mind, on the gas hard, out of the right-hander. Crosby, Cooley, Spencer, with Eddie Lawson on a Kawasaki in fourth. It's intensity times 3 at Daytona. The leaders in a virtual dead heat. That trip across start-finish. And in turn one, it's Wes Cooley who emerges with the narrowest of margins over Freddie Spencer and Graham Crosby. 24-year-old Wes Cooley's considerable and lucrative racing success has interrupted for the time being his college career. So as Cooley works his considerable magic, hauling that big Suzuki down for turn two, it's worth noting that the kid has a lot on the ball. And to the extent that smarts win races, he certainly ranks as a favorite here today. Cooley with Spencer and Crosby in tow, putting a lap rider behind him as he continues his victory quest in the Daytona Superbike 100.
Hey guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a big favor by clicking that subscribe button down below. It will really help me out and keep all of you notified about awesome upcoming content. So thank you very much. Now, back to the video.
Looks like a three-rider dash to the checkered flag. Meanwhile, on pit road now is the factory Honda. The refueling crew swarms over Spencer's machine, over more quickly than his Suzuki-mounted adversaries. So, for the first time today, leaders Graham Crosby and Wes Cooley lead this race free for the moment from the tenacious onslaught of Freddie Spencer. Of course, Cooley and Crosby must also stop for fuel. The Yoshimura crew is ready. But wait, a problem for Honda. A fire on the number 19 machine. Spencer just leapt off the flaming bike. He's okay. The fire crew's extinguishing the blaze. Ever ready, Freddie climbs right back in the saddle. A bizarre pit incident. There were no injuries and apparently little damage to the machine. And now the Suzuki-mounted leaders, unaware of what has happened to their foe, are about to entrust their own fate to the Yoshimura crew. The two Suzukis are in the pits together. The bikes are stopped. The fuel going in, thus far without incident. Meanwhile, on the track, Eddie Lawson, with a pit stop still to come, has grabbed the lead. Crosby waits impatiently as the tank is topped off. Crosby is away, but it will be Cooley who gets out onto the track first as the Yoshimura crew performs. Where once there were three, now there are but two. Cooley and Crosby playing a dramatic duet against a backdrop of racing history here at Daytona. Lap after lap, they have tested each other. Cooley, number 34, and Crosby, number 316, are side by side. And Cooley retakes the lead. Spencer, now a distant third, victim of a pit stop fire. Eddie Lawson is out with mechanical problems. And the Suzuki teammates, Wes Cooley, the leader, and Graham Crosby, are left to settle this one between them. Cooley in command at the moment, hoping to make up for his disappointment of a year ago when he started second in this race, but retired after just 9 laps to finish 44. He team's dominance of this event is absolutely remarkable. These two riders have run just this close since they posted identical qualifying laps to the thousandth of a second. And now, with 1 lap to go, they appear certain to sweep the top 2 spots in this most prestigious of American superbike races. But the question remains, which Suzuki will it be? Cooley sneaking a look over his shoulder and perhaps pondering some remaining bit of strategy in this the final lap. A motorcycle enthusiast for 18 of his 24 years, Cooley has fixed his sights on the biggest prize of all, Victory Circle at Daytona. Cooley demonstrating masterful control, but Crosby lurks within striking distance. The pair knifing through the infield for the final time. Cooley, though 6 years younger than Crosby, is a 10-year veteran, loads of Daytona experience that he's hoping will pay a checkered flag premium half a lap from now. The back markers make way, moving over for the flying twosome who will decide this race between them. Cooley holding his advantage through the infield, but Crosby will have an opportunity to draft on the banking the last time around, perhaps setting up another of those Daytona slingshot passes. Exiting the infield, Cooley with a bold move to the outside momentarily traps Crosby behind left riders. That could prove to be the key maneuver of this race. They're on the west banking for the last time, 160 miles per hour, setting up for a final fateful trip through that backstretch chicane. Cooley hits his line on a dime. Crosby has to follow him in. They flick right, now back to the left, looking for good. Whoa! Crosby almost slipped. The rear wheel slid around as he got back on the throttle too quickly in his haste to catch Cooley. Cooley is on the front chute, the bit in his teeth. Crosby recovers for one final sprint, trying to catch his teammate. The Yoshimura R&D Suzuki crew goes crazy. Wes Cooley wins it. They started side by side with identical qualifying times, and after 100 miles of racing, Cooley defeats Crosby by a margin of just 10 feet. The average speed over 107 miles.
For Pops Yoshimura and Yoshimura Racing, it was the best day imaginable, with their 2 bikes taking a commanding first-second sweep.
A number of hugs and beer hugs and kissing going on down here amongst this very...
For Wes Cooley, the reigning champion of superbike racing, it was a great personal victory and the fulfillment of a lifelong goal, to win Daytona.
Actually, it was kind of up in the air. We flipped the coin before the start of the race and landed on its side, didn't tip one way or the other, so we kind of just went for broke. it didn't work out, so I'm glad I didn't spend my time doing it.